come on up to the front, we will get us started. Thank you. Well, good morning. My name is Wendy Dant-Chesser, and my role today is threefold. First, I'm to get everyone's attention to start the program. Check. Number two, I'm honored to welcome everyone to the River Ridge Commerce Center, the premier business park in the Midwest. In December, many of you local folks joined us for our 25th anniversary celebration, and we appreciate your support for the incredible transformation over this last quarter century. The former Indiana Army ammunition plant has truly transformed from an overgrown facility restricted by an electrified fence with barbed wire across the top into what you see today, or we'll see when the fog lifts. An inviting and now thriving hub of economic activity, supporting jobs, investment, and opportunity for all of Southern Indiana. River Ridge is leading our regional economy. In 2022, businesses within the Commerce Center contributed over $2.75 billion in economic impact and are supporting over 18,000 jobs in our community. We had a few major announcements in 2023, and we'll see those numbers grow. And spoiler alert, we've invited you here today for the most exciting addition in our business community in the past 25 years. And for my third assignment, it is simple. It is to welcome a good friend of mine and a great friend to Southern Indiana. It is my honor to introduce to you the 51st Governor of the state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb.
Oh, it's good to be back. Always good things happening when you come to River Ridge. And thank you, Wendy, for your friendship and for all that you mean to this neck of the woods, so to speak. Also want to thank Jerry, and I want to thank John and Senator Garton, and I'll get to that in a second here, and Secretary Rosenberg from the IEDC for being up here, but just the intention and the focus and the thoughtful approach that has brought us to a day like today doesn't come by accident. It comes by way of working together. It comes by working in unison, harmoniously, making sure we're all looking at the same roadmap. And again, that leads us to days like today it's history making. And I just can't tell you, Mayor Moore, how excited I am to be part of what you've helped lead in this great part of our state. This is an economic engine. And obviously it has become magnetic. And to see this area develop, how it's developed so thoughtfully, right alongside, complemented by Indiana's great tax and regulatory environment. That's something that Senator Garton's so critically important to making sure it continues. That continuity is so important when we're speaking to investors, that certainty and predictability and stability. Knowing that we have policies that are attractive to companies globally, where they can grow and seek opportunity to scale up at their preferred pace. Knowing that we find ourselves with access in every which way to an infrastructure program that's been ranked number one in America, having access to the roads and the rail and the trails, the ports, both water and air, all of it right here. Knowing that world-class companies have access to the human talent, power, supply right here close. Knowing that a community like this is making unprecedented investments in quality of place making, which leads to a higher quality of life. And that's what's so important to a day like today, because we are building and we are connecting the community in ways that maybe we wouldn't have thought about a decade or two ago. And so today it really is it's an honor. And it certainly is a privilege to announce that Meta is coming to Indiana. Meta is coming to River Ridge. And they are coming in a meta way, investing $800 million in this community. It's going to ultimately employ 100 Hoosiers in these high-tech careers truly of the future. And so I want to say thank you, Meta. Thank you, Brad Davis. Thank you to your entire senior team that's here with us today, and for all those that had a hand in getting us to this day that are scattered literally around the world as we make this announcement. It's been a joy to get to know you and you all throughout this process in Indiana and some places far flung from where we stand today. What this means is we are going to be able to add not just capacity, but value to all of our powerhouse industries, our life sciences, our advanced manufacturing, our logistics, just to name a few. And having access to what you all provide to the world right here, growing it right here in Indiana, leads us to a level of high confidence that we're going to end up being the AI capital of the Midwest. We have set some pretty lofty goals, but because of this announcement today, we are well on our way, and we cannot wait to continue to grow alongside you. I would bet that 10, 20 years from now, with all that we're thinking about at the IEDC and the state and you all, that you will look back on this 10, 20 years from now and think that was a good decision. That was an era of explosive growth, and we are powering the world for the better. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour needs little introduction, but Brad Davis, who is the director of Data Center Community and Economic Development, couldn't be more appropriate, touches everything that is important to us. Mr. Brad Davis.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Governor Holcomb, for joining us and for your support of Meta's newest data center. It's absolutely an honor to have you here and for all your support. Thank you, Secretary Rosenberg, for all your support. Thank you to River Ridge Development Authority, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, One Southern Indiana, and all the people working to bring economic development to this area. And to Wendy Danchesser, Jerry Acey, John Launis for joining us today. Thank you to our state legislators and Clark County commissioners. Your support means so much to us. I want to recognize Senator Young, Senator Braun, Congresswoman Houchin, who could not join us today, but thank you to their representatives for being here. And finally, Mayor Moore and the city of Jeffersonville, thank you for welcoming us to this amazing community. We are proud to announce our newest data center is right here in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Jeffersonville is the perfect home for Meta. It offers great access to infrastructure and renewable energy, a strong pool of talent, and most important, an amazing set of community partners. You all have made us feel at home from the beginning, and for that, we thank you. This data center will be part of the infrastructure that helps bring our technologies and services to billions of people across the world. These buildings and the hardware inside of them will help people connect with friends and family, find communities, and grow business. But it is important to us that the impact of our data center is not only felt online. We want to make sure that we're creating a positive impact at the local level in communities just like Jeffersonville, because our mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. And for Meta, that starts right here. As new members of the Jeffersonville community, we are fully committed to playing a positive role here and investing in the region's long-term vitality. Once completed, the facility will represent an investment of more than $800 million and will support approximately 100 operational positions. We also anticipate this nearly 700,000 square foot data center will translate into hundreds of construction and skilled trade jobs. We make a concerted effort to source labor and materials locally and provide substantial contributions to the local community. Our commitment extends to nonprofits and schools here as well. In each data center community, we partner with schools and local organizations on programs and resources to help build skills and increase the use of technology. Once this data center is online, we'll launch our Meta Data Center Community Action Grants, a program created to address local needs by putting the power of technology to use for community benefit, connecting people both online and off, and improving STEM education. We are also proud to say, once it's operational, this data center will be supported by 100% renewable energy. Jeffersonville is now our home, and we look forward to having a strong, mutually beneficial partnership for years to come. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Mike Moore.
By golly, little old Jeffersonville did it again. What an honor it is to stand here. And I got to tell you, to keep a secret for this long, that's a challenge. One of the news channels called me just before I came out here this morning and was pleading for some information. And I was like, you know, I'm sorry, I signed a confidentiality agreement and I can't give you anything. Mayor, I've known you for 10 years. You know, well, my assistant's been working for me for 8 and she doesn't know who it is. So Meta, Brad, welcome to Jeffersonville. My goodness, this is something that we have been talking about in conversation since 2019. And COVID slowed us down for a little bit there, but just like the economy in Jeffersonville, things fired right back up. And an $800 million investment in our city. People, do you recognize the effects of that's going to have? I mean, that's not only for the employees in that building, but that entire campus. The 1,250 jobs that will be used for from contractors constructing the building. Jeffersonville, for decades, 100 years, was a city that built barges. Times have changed, and we are now driven by technology. And speaking about barges, in a couple of weeks here, Governor, I want to sit down and talk to you about a little piece of property on the river down there called Jeff Boat, because we got big dreams for that too. I do want to recognize my city council members. I've got Scott Hawkins, Bill Burns, Dustin White, Steve Webb. Steve, I did see you this time. I've got Donna Reed over here and Jackie Snelling. Evan Stoner. I'm sorry, Evan, you're usually speaking up, so I don't have to, but my goodness. I've got 3 kids, 24, 26, and 28, and they know a whole lot more about technology than I do. I can't wait until I get that phone call after this event with the excitement they are going to have. But a 619-acre campus. Imagine that, 619 acres. Now, if that doesn't say Meta believes in Jeffersonville, I don't know what does. But for all of the employees that will be coming here, that will be part of the Jeffersonville family, we welcome you with open arms. And is Mark Loeffner here? Mark Loeffner, Greater Clark School Superintendent. Mark, I'm glad to tell you, and happy as can be to tell you, this is a company that has a strong reputation of helping the local schools. So that's good news for our entire community. The employees and their children that will be going to Jeffersonville High School and other area schools around here are going to benefit from this company's generosity. There's so much more to say. Wendy Danchesser, I'm so happy you made the move. I know you did a great job at 1SI, but you're a perfect fit for River Ridge. To the board members of River Ridge, Ned Fowle. Ned Fowle's been on this board for the entire 25 years. You could not ask for a better member. The man, I always say, put people who are smarter than you on the boards you serve. River Ridge is the most valuable board in Clark County. I've got the smartest man in Clark County that represents the city of Jeffersonville right there. And I thank you for your service. I appreciate everybody that serves on that board. But 12 years ago, when we came in and were campaigning, there wasn't a whole lot out here. And I can remember in 2012, meeting on the banks of the Ohio River with Governor Beshear and Governor Mitch Daniels. And I'm there as one of the representatives because we're talking about the bridges that had just become a signed agreement that Indiana and Kentucky were going to do. And I made the comment at that press conference. I said, welcome to Jeffersonville. Welcome to the future. Meta, you are our future. We couldn't be happier to have you in our city. And if there's anything the city of Jeffersonville can do for you down the road or your employees, you please let us know. We couldn't be more excited. With that, I want to introduce the Executive Director of River Ridge, Mr. Jerry Acey. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Of course, this is all about partnerships as far as today's announcement from the local level to the state level to the federal level to the company's level. Brad, we're really glad that you all are here today for this occasion. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of River Ridge Development Authority, I'd like to express my appreciation for everybody being here, especially the River Ridge board members. I see we have Mayor Treva here from Charlestown. Speaking of a partnership, so we have Charlestown, Jeffersonville, Utica, the county commissioners, Clark County commissioners, and the state of Indiana appoints each one board member to our board. So we have a 5-member board. And this would not have been possible without the wisdom and direction that we have received over the years from our board of directors. Brian Linford, most recent board member, and Phil McCauley. And I don't know if Ed is here, Ed Myers. I don't see Ed. I don't think he's here. So our 5 board members really deserve a tremendous amount of credit for where we are today, for their leadership. And I appreciate that very much. We appreciate the partnership with Jeffersonville. Over the last several years, we've had multiple meetings and planning sessions with the mayor's office, with the city council, with especially the sewer board, and making sure we were able to accommodate, the requirements for the company. And we, as Wendy mentioned, River Ridge has been in existence for 25 years and started out with nothing, basically. So we built this from the ground up, literally. And we had to tear down much of the old Army facilities to be where we are today. So we had basically a total of 6,000 acres that were transferred to us from the Army. And early on in the process, speaking of our board of directors, the board approved, our initial master plan for the development and laying out, the streets and some of the parcels and that sort of thing, and what we would try to designate in certain areas. And one of the wisest things that they approved was to set aside over 1,000 acres just over our left shoulder here for potential mega site type developments. And so today we are announcing one of the most monumental mega site type projects that we could have hoped for in Meta, and we certainly do appreciate that. So we have some other announcements recently that have taken place in River Ridge that have been monumental in their own right. One being in Charlestown. River Ridge covers part of Charlestown, part of River Ridge, Jeffersonville. And the Cheesecake Factory, which there's a chain of restaurants, of course, but you got to have a factory to make cheesecakes. So they will be building a factory at Charlestown on State Road 62 that will actually be making cheesecakes to be shipped all over the world, not just to the restaurants, but all over the world. And then we had another semi-mega site project that was announced back in the fall, and that was the Canadian Solar. They will be producing components to go into solar panels, the renewable energy business, which is our first in that industry sector. So we've checked off 2 or 3 boxes of new sectors of industry, and from food services to the solar energy to the most dynamic information technology company that we could ever have hoped for. So this is a game changer for us, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all the partnerships with others. It would have too many to announce at this time, but one of those partnerships obviously has been with One Southern Indiana, our regional Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Group. And we have with us today John Lannis, who is the Vice President of Economic Development and has been with us from the start. So John, if you will.
Thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Meta, for choosing Southern Indiana. Despite the weather, fog or no fog, it is clearly a beautiful day here at River Ridge. So One Southern Indiana serves a dual role in our community, obviously as the Chamber of Commerce, but we are also the local economic development leading agency for Clark Floyd and Scott County. Our overarching goal is to enhance the area's vibrancy and quality of life by facilitating economic transactions that drive the quality of life and quality of place and prosperity for our collective region here. With the support of our elected leaders, with the support of community partners, and of course our amazing staff, we've been quite successful in this endeavor since forming in 2006. Today marks One Southern Indiana's 225th project announcement since forming in 2006. Collectively, these projects represent over $4 billion of investment in our region and the creation of over 21,000 jobs. Meta's Jeffersonville's data center is our second announcement of 2024 and is no doubt further propelling the momentum and the energy and the collective opportunity that our region has. It also represents one of the largest, most significant economic development wins that we've seen here in Southern Indiana and perhaps across the state. But I'll leave it to our next speaker to discuss that. In closing, I just want to sincerely thank Meta for the confidence you've placed in our region, but I also want to give a sincere thank you to the community at large. It's your talent, your work ethic, and your vision for our future that brought this opportunity here, and also what will make Meta successful and our region successful long into the future. So thank you. With that, it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce another teammate in this work, Indiana Secretary of Commerce, Mr. David Rosenberg.
Thank you, John. Today is an incredibly exciting day for me. This announcement really resonates on a personal level. I was born in Jeffersonville, Clark Memorial. My mom graduated Jeffersonville High, 1980. I still have family right down the street. You probably see my grandma's house once this fog lifts. So I couldn't imagine a better homecoming as Secretary of Commerce. As you all might have heard, Indiana is truly winning. We're smashing records and setting the pace for investment in the Midwest and the United States. Last year, companies here and around the world committed to locate or expand in Indiana, committing $28.7 billion in new investments. Those investments are projected to create 22,000 jobs with an average annual salary of $75,000 per year, well outpacing the national average. The monumental investment from Meta is kickstarting 2024 in a great way and truly setting the tone for the rest of the year, a year I can promise we'll all remember. This $800 million investment emphasizes Indiana's place on the world stage. It is a testament to the fact that massive global companies now know that Indiana is the place to do business. Meta's presence in Jeffersonville will bolster Indiana's economy for the future and provide the career opportunities for today and tomorrow that Hoosiers deserve. So thank you, Brad and the Meta team. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Wendy and Jerry. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, John. Special shout out to Brock Herr and our IDC team who worked on this for several years. Thank you for your commitment to that. We appreciate all the partners. And with that, I'd like to invite all the speakers up for a photo opportunity. Thank you all for being here.
I'm behind you. All right, right here.
How long do y'all expect us to smile?
You were doing such a great job. I just wanted to make sure.
There. Make sure we get this there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've got a wall of these in my office of City Hall, so I'm gonna have to make space for this one. Yeah, more to come. Good. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Like right here. I am this tall.
In attendance for the scrum?
Yes.
That was the first time I've ever heard it called the scrum.
Oh, we do. That's what I call it.
I like it.
Maybe. Usually the governor's like immigration stuff coming up. Like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You're right. I don't. It's really hard. I don't know if you want me right here in this. Okay. Let them know. Okay. Red. Yeah.
The governor will be right. Do me a favor. Please.
No, it's like.
I'm not sure. It's my lovely.
What? Thank you.